I'm making this video for my friends so that I can try to get them to understand how the market works in a very, very, very simple, very, very easy way, okay? Like very simple, very easy. Like I will make it make sense. Like you just have to lock in and you'll get what I'm saying and what my analysis is. But obviously this is not financial advice. You lose your money, that's you losing your money. But this is not also random. This is like strategic. You know what I mean? There's reasons behind stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Are y'all boys? Pretty much, I just want to share with you guys like a very simple to understand analysis. Basically, like what I'm looking at. Just wanted to share it with you guys. Anybody else sees the same thing? Basically, I just want to share the opportunity. Not just sharing the opportunity, but like saying my reasons why, and then you can make your own decision. But I'll try to make this like very easy to understand. Like very, 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 very simple. So pretty much, very, very, very simple terms. This is Bitcoin's chart from 2015 all the way till now. This is Bitcoin. Every single bar you see represents 1 month of prices. Just very, very simple. Look, like for example, right here, this is November. You see it down here. It's November, and then this is December, so on and so on. And it just shows where the price, basically the price action that was going on. Okay, I don't want to like get too deep into that. And then you see these lines right here. That represents each cycle when Bitcoin's halving happened, which is when Bitcoin's supply, or not supply, but Bitcoin's produced supply is halved, like it's cut in half. So all the Bitcoins that are mined, like all the new supply that comes in, is cut in half. Not the actual supply of Bitcoin, but the incoming supply of Bitcoin is cut in half, right? So obviously, less supply, more demand equals boom, shot up in price. Same here, shot up in price. Same here, shot up in price, right? But okay, so those are the halvings, right? So here's the thing to take note. So here's a 4-year cycle, 4 year, and then another 4 year. Okay, it didn't start in 2015. It started beforehand, but it's not showing because how I have my chart right now. But anyways, look, if you go back and you look at July 2016, this is when the halving happened. Not on the first, but like around this area is when it happened, right? If you go from here, let me see this. If you go from here all the way to the very, very, very top, basically from the lowest all the way to the very top, right after the halving to the very, very top, you will see that is about 518 days, okay? So 518 days is about 17 months. So it took, from once the halving occurred, it took about 17 months for the market to actually reflect on that halving, right? So for it to actually go up and for it to show in the market, that's 17 months. So keep that number in mind, okay? And this was also like a 2,000% gain, but that's unrealistic for right now because you know, Bitcoin was literally $500. You know, it's now 90 freaking 5 or something like that, $1,000. And then look, so now the next one, right? The next one from here to here, from to this top, is about 304 days. So that's about a year. That's about a year. Like I'd say 10 months. Okay. Which happens sometimes. Sometimes 1 year after the halving, it will pump, but that's not as accurate as going 18 months. That's 518 days, which is 17 months. I just typed it in. 17 months is where it actually hit all-time high, right? And here it was 600%. So obviously here is 2,000%, 600%. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna regress. It's gonna go down more because you didn't require that much money for you to pump the price that much here, whereas here you required a lot more. Anyways, now moving on here, you will see from the bottom to now, literally right now, this month or the month of April. May is about to hit, so it's gonna be more, but as of the month of April, right, it is 365 days. That's exactly 1 year, and the price only pumped 58%. That's nothing compared to here. 12 months was, you know, 12 months was probably around so May, hold on, where's my thing? Okay, 12 months was something like right here, right? So it did pump here, and it did pump here for the 12 months, and I believe here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check actually. This is like 2009 and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want to go back to, like, if you go too early, you can't really look at that history because like it was just so early. There was so much going on. It wasn't like there wasn't really many patterns. Anyways, but you'll see that on the 18 months, it's hit every time. 18 months, right here, it hit. So same with here, okay? If you go into the 18 months, that would push you to right here is like a safer bet, but 548 days, and then this is 518 days. So we'll just go here, 518 days, and then we'll bring the price to like 150K is like very fair, very, very fair, right? So that brings the price to like this. So basically saying that, you know, it would just pump, and go up to like, you know, right here, $150,000 by September. September should be the time, the day, basically the month to sell, either September or October, or even August if you want to do it early. But the point is, 518 days is exactly 17 months. Here, 518 days. 518 days. Look, very top. Very top. 518 days. Again, very top, inshallah. Obviously, that's, you know, like this is 4 years, 8 years. You get what I mean? Like, and then another 4 years. That's a lot of years of the same pattern happening. It's not something that's like, oh, every day it does this. No, this is like, bro, this is literally a quarter cycle, a 4 year cycle, bro. So you have 518 days right here, which should be the top, right? Inshallah. And what's it called? And here's the thing also, right? With that being said, there's another indicator that's really good, but it's basically, let me show you. And again, like I'll simplify this. But basically, so this is Bitcoin, the green and the black. So it's the same chart as this, right? So this is Bitcoin's price on the daily, meaning that each bar is 1 day instead of 1 month like this one. That's all. That's the only difference here, right? So this is Bitcoin. Okay, so now you'll see that this is where Bitcoin was like 65,000, then it pumped up, and then it was at 100K, and everybody was like, oh my god, 100,000, is it too late to buy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was too late to buy. And then it dumped down to accumulate more, which is around this area, the $80,000 area, 76K. This is when I was sending it into WhatsApp, and I was like, hey, I really think it's a good time to buy. Anyways, now it's at 94K, which, by the way, just from there is 22%. So that's what, $22 if you put 100, $200 if you put 1,000, so on and so on. But anyways, so there's something called the M2 Global Liquidity Index, which is pretty much, like, in short, it's literally take like the world economy, like all of the world's economy from the different countries and stuff like that, savings accounts, bonds, this and all these things, like all the liquidity, all the money that's in the world, right? That's what this orange chart represents, right? This is like the world basically economy. I like, in simple terms, it's not really that, but in simple terms, that's pretty much what it is, right? And the thing about Bitcoin is that people like to pump Bitcoin when they have money, meaning when people have money and things are not really risky, they like it to go in Bitcoin because it gives them honestly the highest return on their investment. Bitcoin is, you know, like it just like from literally just from April to freaking April, like just beginning April to now, bro. Just beginning April to now is 23%, more than double what people get in stocks for a year. This is like 2 years worth of stocks right here, and just this type of move. That's it, and it hasn't even recovered. This is all-time high again, which is 35%, just for it to go back to its all-time high. Anyways, the point is, this closely follows. It has been closely following Bitcoin. Obviously not to a T, but there is definitely some resemblance. As you can see right here, you know, like there's some delay or whatnot, but the point is there is a close correlation, and this is basically the chart right here. Like this is literally where it's going, and this isn't like telling the future, but actually this chart is pushed back 90 days. So the actual real chart right now, real life chart, is this. So in real life, this is where we're at with the global liquidity, like the global money, but because it takes a lot, like it takes about 90 days to 120 days for it to actually reflect on the market, because when people get money, it takes a while for people to actually invest and do this and do this and do this, so all these things, for it to slowly start reflecting in the market. Does that make sense? So that's why we push this. It's not really telling you the future, but it's just you know, telling you basically by then the market would have reflected this much money. Does that make sense? It should make a little bit of sense. So whether it's 120 days late, 90 days late, the point is it does correlate, right? And yeah, so it shows basically about, let's see right here, we said our top would be September. If we look right here, September, let's look at September and see where that would be at. Okay, if we look at September, which is about right here, basically the top, pretty much right here, September. So we can already see that in July it's 125K. So in September, it should be around, basically around right here. My realistic price target is honestly just 150K. That's my realistic price target. But I think honestly it can definitely hit 200, maybe 250. But if you're trying to chase those type of numbers, you might just end up losing everything. So it's better to have a realistic, like this is the highest likely chance. It will most likely hit 150K. It could possibly pass it, and then it could possibly pass that, but the more likely scenario is 150K. That's for sure, almost for sure. You get what I mean? It's like being right here at it was $9,000 here. You could say it's very likely to hit 20K, right? you can hit that 20K, which is here, and then you don't get all these gains, but that's okay because like you've sold, you've profited, right? Versus, you know, you're buying more up here because you think it's going to go up. Okay, nonetheless, so those are my two indicators, right? So the halving cycle, which is the 4-year cycle, on top of the world, pretty much the world liquidity. Like, look how closely this aligns. Let me show you. Look how closely this aligns. Boom, 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 boom. Goes up here. This goes down, and then this also went down. It just doesn't. It doesn't look like it's close, but it also went down. Also went down, and then now this is pumping, and then this is also pumping. It'll have the minor dips, but overall, it's still doing really good. You know. Yeah. So this is the daily chart. So with that being said, here's the other thing that I want to note. If you do plan to get in, right? I do want to note one thing. The best thing that somebody can do is not just get in right, get in right here, basically. Look, pretty much right now, if y'all would get in, it would be getting in here. And then you would be riding whatever this wave until September or whatnot, around that time, right? And then, you would capitalize on that, which is still a good percentage. If you get, just for it to hit 150K, that's 60%. So you put $10,000, that's $6,000, right? Anyways, but the real money is made when the bear market hits. So after all of this and everybody's like, oh my God, and then Bitcoin's crashing. Oh, Bitcoin is crashing. It hit 60,000 like in 2021 and it's crashing. Bro, this is the time to buy. If you bought, not even at the low, just bought right here at the local high of this area, or actually forget that because it's not realistic to buy the low. So I don't want to measure that. What's realistic though is once a candle blows on top of the recent high, which means that now we have a trend shift upwards. Let's say you bought that, like you bought it really late, like you didn't really buy the very bottom, you just bought right here, okay? Just from right here to where we're at now, that's 300%. That's basically 3x. Whatever you put in, you've multiplied it by 3, right? But if we go up to 150K, that's now 590 or about basically 5x. You put in 10K, you get 50K type of deal, That's an amazing deal. Same with right here. If you just waited, even if you waited till over here where it passes that high and you bought super late, which is still very early, again, you're way over 600% here, like way over 600%. What is this? And then you bought it at the very top. Let's not even say you sold it at the very top. You just sold right here. That's still, again, like 3 times the money, whatever. And just, this is 2019 and then this is 2021. That's 3 years, right? And during that 3 years, you would have probably just lost that money anyways, or something, not really made much out of it, But here's the problem also, is if you don't sell, let's say people will buy, because what drives this market is pretty much like, okay, imagine a ton of guys, bro, like literally like these 3 guys, and imagine like 100 guys pushing this car, pushing it, like they're all just pushing it with all their strength, right? Some of them are strong, so it pushes it more. Some of them are weak, so it pushes it less. But at the end of the day, they're all just pushing. The car will continue to roll until some of them get tired and some of them start to stop, and some strong ones will start to stop, and then so on and so on. And guess what will happen? It will slow down before it stops. Before the car stops, let's say that they're pushing it uphill, basically. It will keep going, and then it'll slow down and then stop, and then it'll start to basically go back down. And people will start to try to push it, but basically it will just knock them down. It will just crush them and keep going. That's literally what happens here. What happens here is people see that the car is being pushed, is like, hey, like we're really taking this thing up, and people join. They join until it starts to go down, right? And then obviously this was a 12-month, and then this is an 18-month. People, like the consensus is after 18 months. So people are like, okay, it's dumping. Well, this is a good time to buy because still 18 months hasn't hit. So they do that, and then once they hit that, guess what? Like people start to sell. They're like, oh, this is very, very risky. They start to sell, and then more sell, and more sell, and the momentum dies out. Look at this huge momentum, just green. And then you have black, and then you have a little bit of black, then you have a black candle, or red candle is usually the color, and so on. And then people try to recover it, and then they get crushed. People try to recover it, and they get crushed, right? And like I said, each candle represents a month. If I do this on the weekly, you'll see it a lot more, because not much happens on the month versus a week. Like see here on the weekly, just push, right? So the idea is when you realize that, hey, everybody is buying this, guess what? There's not going to be that many people in the world to buy Bitcoin, which means that the price has to slow down. This pump has slowed down and then slowly go back down. People now need to sell, like, because you can't just have all buyers. Once you're up here, there's no more buyers. That's pretty much the idea, is that once everybody's talking about Bitcoin and crypto and it's all over the news, everyone's like, oh, should I buy this? Is it too late? Whatever it is. That's when, like, okay, because you can't have everybody buy it. Eventually, there will be no more buyers, or there will be more sellers than buyers, which is pretty much what happens, and then it dumps in price. So same with here. Same with here. Maybe 150K, I strongly believe it'll hit 150K, inshallah. But any other price target, that's just risking it. Because like now you're like, hey, I don't want to take in this money. I'm trying to push and get this much or get this much. And then maybe it won't happen. And then people will start selling before you do. And then you're like, no, I might recover back. And then like basically you get emotional and greedy. So it's best to just have this. Okay, 18 months. It's happened once. It's happened twice. It's happened on the other time as well. And so of course, inshallah, it should happen again. So really, for me, it's like 150K is like a good area. But honestly, whatever price it hits around this end, which is September, plus looking at this as well, looking at this as well to see if it's starting to go down or whatever price that is at that moment, like, is what I think would be a good price to sell, bro. And another thing that happens also, right, is usually before like a pump like this, there will be a huge dump, okay, because people need the liquidity right here. They need to get the money. So instead of buying here and selling here, they're like, no, like smart money wants to buy down here for a discount, so that they're able to use that money and use all those people that sold here, panic sold to them, to push the price actually higher. And then by the way, this is like a key point also, if you want to like know where the top is, even though it's not a good idea to time the top, it's pretty much, so smart money needs to be able to sell all of these like billions of dollars that they have, right, without it crashing the market. Okay, so what do they need to do? They need to have a lot of freaking buyers in order for them to do that without it really affecting. It's like they need a huge ocean so that when they do their transaction, it kind of just goes in with the ocean. You know what I mean? It doesn't like affect it like so much, right? So what would they do is, obviously they're gonna, bro, like you're gonna see Bitcoin everywhere. Like they're gonna talk about it everywhere. Everyone's gonna talk about it. You're gonna see Coinbase. Coinbase is like one of the, basically the number one app for crypto, right here. You're going to see Coinbase is going to be the top of the app store. You're going to see people basically downloading this app. Right now, as of 11 hours ago, it's ranked number 324 in all apps and number 22 in finance apps, right? So pretty much during the time where it's like bull market and everybody's talking about it and everybody's buying, that's when you see that Coinbase has basically, it's like the number 3, number 5 spot in all apps. Like everybody's downloading it because everybody they don't want to miss out. But that's the time where now you've realized, okay, if everybody's getting in, that means that, hey, there's going to be no more buyers. And so the price is going to have to change, and now we're going to have to sell. We have to sell. We can't just keep buying. There's not enough money in the world for everybody to buy. And what's the point of everybody buying if nobody can sell and make a profit? So, that's honestly what to watch out for. But I'm just sending this out because honestly, like, I'm not trying to have anybody, Bitcoin's 150K and you're like, oh yeah, I should have bought it here. I should have. Look, man, I'm not telling you to invest blindly. I'm just giving you my thesis and my analysis, right? Sharing it with you guys so that you guys can make your own decisions. Okay. And I do understand like money is, everybody's tough, it's tough right now. But honestly, bro, if somebody really wants, like, shoot, get another job, work for a month, work for a week, and just put that in here, like, because it really does like push your money a lot. Like it does. You just have to stay smart and do it smart each time. You can just buy it whenever. Oh my god, Bitcoin's 100K, it's gonna get 200 next, let's buy it right here, and then it sells. No, like you have to plan that out. You have to have a plan. For example, like even if you bought it, like if you bought it at the bear market, when it went down and like everyone's like it's crashing after Trump and the tariffs, that would have done nothing to you, bro. Why? Is because if you would have bought, not here, but just here at the very bottom right now, where everybody thought that's like the bottom, that's still 200% on your money. Like you're not going to be crying for it to go down a little bit. You're going to be like, no, I have room. Like let it go all the way down and let it pump back up, You're not going to be crying like, oh, just wait for it to go back up more because you're down. You're not going to be down if you're smart about it, right? Even for here, the smartest thing is to buy it down here where I sense it, bro. I'm not even going to like, bro, I'm going to flex this, bro. I don't even care. I literally sense it. I was like, bro, this is a good time to buy. Okay. I didn't have the money to buy it at that time. I really didn't. I wish I did. I was freaking selling because I had personal finance stuff. But bro, this is an amazing time to buy, bro. Even here, you see that green candle, it just pushed past that high. Even here, we're gonna get another green candle, another green candle. It's gonna push this high. And once it pushes that high, now people are like, whoa, Bitcoin just hit another all-time high. That means that it's not crashing. That means that this was just a small correction for it to continue, and then another small correction for it to continue. That's how the market works until it reaches that plateau level, and then it starts to reverse. Hey, now we need to sell. Well, some people might buy in here, and then we need to sell more. You're going to see more selling than buying. Right now you're seeing more buying than selling. Buying is this much. Selling is only this much. It's only, you know, from here to here. Likewise here, like once the bull market finishes, you're going to see selling, small buy, selling, small buys, very small buys. Maybe a little pump here. Honestly, this would trick a lot of people because that green candle closed above this high. But you wouldn't buy because you already know the bull market's already finished. Why would you buy? You know, so boom, you get crushed, bro, for buying up here. Honestly, bro, that's why they call these things like traps. Like you would have bought here, gotten crushed. You would have lost 60% on your more. You would have lost 64%, bro. More than half your money. Especially if you bought it up here, like when everyone's talking about Bitcoin. This is where everyone's talking about Bitcoin, the very top. If you bought it when everybody's talking about Bitcoin, you would have been down 76%, bro. Imagine being down the majority of your money. You're gonna be like, oh, bro, just sell, and then it pumps. Listen, man, the best thing to do is just follow, literally just follow this. 18 months after the halving, 18 months after the halving, and then you have this that shows us that there is liquidity coming in. Right, there is liquidity coming in, and then on top of that, there's a dip. There's always a huge dip that recovers before a next push up. If that dip didn't recover like this, here's the real thing. In my opinion, here's the real thing. If this hits the 100K or whatever level and then it dips down even more than this, okay, it's over, bro. This whole 4-year cycle thing, it just stopped working now. But if it continues past, then you know that this was just a little dip and now it's recovered and it's gonna go higher. That's how it works. Like that's literally how it works. Same here. Same here. This was the 12-month. It dipped down, but it recovered, right? And it recovered and then it pushed. It pushed higher. But this is the 18-month mark. You get what I mean? Or this is 567 days. What is that? 567. That's 18 months and 18.6 months. So it's not always 18 exactly, but you know what I mean. It's like around the 18-month mark. And then it dipped down. Like this always happens. This always happens. Even here, like in the very beginning, right? So you had that huge correction. People were probably like, oh my God, it's crashing down. They lost their money from here to here. That's down 36%. And then it needed that so that it can pump it up even higher and even higher and even higher. And right now, we didn't even go down that much. From like when it was 100,000, it was at $100,000. And it went down 23%. That's literally nothing. It's used to going down so much more, right? That's why I also believe it's going to go up so much less. Because it's went down a lot less. Each time is like it decreases and decreases because the price becomes more and more stable because so many people are buying. It becomes harder to affect the price like that. Anyways, yeah, the point is though, around this mark right here, this is 504 days. You can honestly even push this like here. So September, October. I wouldn't really try to push it and be like, oh, let's wait for the next, or hey, Donald Trump is saying that he's gonna freaking sign this and this or whatever. Like, they're going to say a lot of stuff to make people buy so that they can sell on them, bro. That's really how it is. Just like here, they're going to say a bunch of all these things are going to happen so that people can sell, panic, so much fear, and then they buy before they push it up. Just like in COVID. Where's COVID time? Was it around right here? COVID is like end of 2019 or something, right? I don't know, it's COVID. Started March 2020, whatever. I remember it was the end of 2019, actually. Is when it actually started. But oh my God, here it is, literally right here. So right here, boom, we got February 2020. Oh, it's March. COVID is like breaking out. Holy crap, everybody freak out. And then it tanked, bro, all the way down here to $3,000. It literally, people lost 60% of their money, and they're all selling more because they think the world is gonna end, bro. I'll tell you one thing, bro. Since the beginning of the creation, bro, the world has not ended yet. The world has not ended yet, bro. Like, if the world ends, like, if everything's just going to crash down, it doesn't even matter that you lost that money anyways. So why would you sell? Unless you bought into something stupid. But this is not something stupid. This is something that has history and has strength, not some other coins. You get what I mean? Yeah, so with that being said, and then obviously, from there, what happened next? Huge push. They took all your money, and then huge push up into the bull market because people got scared. That's literally what happens. And also, why do you think that there's like a bear market right here? Why? And it just dumps down. It's because there's so many gains, so much profit that's made up here. And then once it starts to like trickle down and slow down, like really slow down, and you can tell too. Look at the momentum. You can see the momentum slow down. Look at this big green candle, big green candles, right? Big, like gigantic freaking Shrek candles, bro. And then Look at this. Small black candle, small, a little bit big, and then boom. Because you can tell momentum started dying out here, bro. Momentum started dying out, and then it dumped. It's like the car pushing analogy that I said. And then it dumped. I guarantee you'll see it here too. Literally right here. Huge Shrek candles, bro. And then black candle down, but there was no momentum lost. It was just black candle. So it just kept going. Boom, right here. See, small candle, small candle, small candle. Momentum is being lost. People don't know what's going on anymore. Yeah, bro, sell. 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 So it has to happen. And then it just, you know what I mean? It's, bro, the thing, it's not high risk. I don't understand how this is high risk. This is very, like, I'm not gonna lie, this is not high risk at all. Especially if you're buying at the bear market, you are not risking anything. Like, what are you risking? The only way the price will not continue to do what it's doing is if something like something crazy happens in the world. Like, there's a cyber attack where Bitcoin just doesn't matter anymore. Then it will fall. And in that case, like, okay, so what? You lost out money. You shouldn't be investing more than what you're willing to lose. But the point is, the upside is so much more. Like, the risk is just losing the $1,000 or 5K, whatever, 100, whatever it is that one can afford, you know? But the gain is from investing in the bear market just up here, not even in the bottom. You know, you're getting 300%. You're multiplying your money by 3, you know? Or here it's 800%. Or here it was freaking 4,000, you know? Like, so here I doubt that it's going to be that much higher. So, like, the more it goes, the more opportunity you're missing out. If you wait to, if you get a little bit here, you might capitalize on that gain, and then you can use all that money to buy at the bear market. That's what you want to do. The next bear market is where you want to buy, literally at the next bear market, so that you can capitalize on the huge gains. You get what I mean? People, and by the way, when this hits right here, you're gonna hear people talking about 1 million Bitcoin. When it comes around right here, you're gonna literally, people are gonna be like, oh, Bitcoin's gonna hit $500,000, and you're gonna be like, dang, if I get it at 100K and it's gonna hit 500, you know, that's 5 times. No, bro, no, it's not, because it's not gonna hit that. Or honestly, even if it does, cool, like, it doesn't matter. Your job isn't to make crazy money. Your job is to just find a good area to buy, and then a high probability area to sell. That's what your job is. If it hits September/October and the price is not at 150K, it's less, you best believe, inshallah, I will still be selling. All right, as long as it's higher than here, I will still be looking to sell. I don't care where the price is, bro. I don't care, because I'm not trying to play with that. I'm not trying to play with right after the 500. This is 18 months, 18.6, and then it's just dump town. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? That's where you see people like losing money. It's because of stuff like that. It's just greed. But if you sit there and you have a plan, you don't have to watch the chart, by the way. Like, if you bought here, you don't have to sit here and watch the chart every single day, This is on the weekly basis. Each one is a week. You can go to the month. You can just see it once a month. Just once a month you go in. So you buy, crap. So what is this? On the 12 month mark. So 12 months this is basically where we're at. 365 is right here. So you bought here. Let's say this is where you buy. This is 2021, but this is 12 months after the halving. So you buy here, and then you might see a drop, you might see whatever. You don't care. You don't even look at it. You just wait till the 18-month mark, and then you sell. Like, you make it super easy for yourself, so you don't freak out. You're not like, oh, I'm losing my money. Oh, I'll just wait for it to bounce back up. You never wait for stuff to bounce back up. You should have a reason and a plan why you believe it's gonna bounce back up. This should never just be, oh, it might. Okay, because the whole it might bounce back up thing is when people buy here very high, and then it dips, and then it goes up again. Yeah, it's gonna go, and then it dips again. They're gonna be like, yeah, it's just gonna recover again like it did here, and then it just keeps going down. Well, I'll wait for it to get back up. Okay, keep waiting, because now it's been what? Now this is 2 years. What is this? We bought here 2021 January, and then all the way here January 2022. That's 2 years before it to start going back up, and you're still losing money because you bought up here. You really have to wait until you buy here. You really have to wait till 2024, bro. That's 3 years. And goofy, the point is, you don't want to be that guy, you know? You want to be the guy, really you want to be the guy that buys in the bear market. But if you just get a small snack right here, you can get just a small snack of profit as long as you sell it. And then, you know, so that you're not like, oh, I just missed out. You don't have to miss out. You can get a small percentage. From here to 150K is 63%. That's not crazy numbers, but that's very good numbers. That's $10,000, 63%. That's 6K profit, you know? Now you have $16,000 to invest here in the bear market, you know, to freaking triple it. Lock in, chat. If you guys have any questions, let me know.